Hello, you're watching TVP World Talks. I'm Łukasz. Poland's slightly forgotten electric car project is back, albeit in a new form. ElectroMobility Poland, an entity formed to develop the Isera brand of future EVs, is hoping to establish a new manufacturing cluster using, in part, funds from the National Recovery Plan. So does this project have a chance to shine amidst shifting priorities and the growing influence of Chinese manufacturers in Europe? Joining us now is Łukasz Maliczenko, Vice President of ElectroMobility Poland and industry expert. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Good morning.
So first of all, let's get started. People might have heard about Isera a while ago. There was even a design for a car, but now this has been scrapped, right? You're going to build something brand new because the old project had its limitations, I understand.
First of all, I'm very happy that we can still have this conversation because we also secured the next stage of our project in terms of funding. You mentioned the recovery fund. This is actually the base of our fund. We moved to the next stage of the investment process with the positive assessment of our application. So this is really good news. This allows us to work on the new strategy, and this new strategy is actually moving slightly away from our own brand that we that was Isera, to something that we co-own, to cooperation and much closer cooperation with a big OEM, the leader on the market, on the global market. We will work together. We will formulate a joint venture and launch new products, not only one car, but the whole portfolio of products that will be produced in Poland and then sold across the whole Europe.
So a family of cars. At this stage, I'm assuming that some of this is still confidential, but can you reveal anything about the partner who will provide, I'm assuming, the technology for this? Or are we still in negotiating phase? So
we are still in very sensitive negotiation phase. I can only say that we are talking to the top global leaders of the automotive market that are leading in terms of technology, in terms of sales, in terms of new next generation of the technology proposal for the automotive market. So this gives us the opportunity to actually succeed on the European market.
So, right, so as a joint venture, I'm assuming that this major company is going to provide technology, provide solutions which are to some extent interchangeable between vehicles, while the Polish side will be developing the identity of the brand. Can you tell us anything about what this identity is going to be? This is especially important if you want to elevate a new brand, from the drawing board to the market, especially as demanding as the one in Europe, with many established players already there.
I think there will be time to talk more about the identity of the brand, but I would like to talk a little bit about the identity of ElectroMobility Poland and our project at this stage, because this project is technology-driven project. We are developing the hub of the development and production hub in Poland, and this hub is actually focused on attracting the partner and building together technical capabilities in Poland based on the cooperation with an experienced partner, but adding value here in Poland.
And jobs,
be able
of course,
to
right?
Jobs, but high-skilled jobs and high-tech experience here locally.
And
not
opportunities
for us, but also for the local supply chain.
Opportunities to develop as well, for people to pursue engineering careers, hoping that they might contribute to the project.
Of course, and you can only learn by doing. So you can only learn by having an experienced partner to work together, to acquire the experience, and then to move to the next generation of products.
So who is going to be the target customer? Because we've already established, Europe is a difficult market, right? There are many segments which have been occupied by brands which have been there for decades. What is, the strategy for essentially wooing these customers away from the brands they might have been attached to and encouraging to look at a brand new one?
We are definitely keeping the strategy consistent to the previous one. So this is a C segment cars, also expanding in the future for B and D segments. So quite broad portfolio of cars. but all cars affordable for the European market.
And in layman's terms, because these segments are something that industry insiders know everything about. But for someone who's just
4.5 meter long car, so the average,
hatchbacks,
most popular hatchback type of or SUV type of cars, but a smaller one.
Right, and is it going to be more of an economy car, or is it going to be trying to make its way slightly into the upmarket segment? What is the idea?
We are definitely
here?
targeting the economy average sort of price level of the cars, not premium.
So you're going to be competing on price, among others, right?
We are going to compete on the value for money. So I know it sounds like a cliche, but this is actually a very precisely defined specification that combines the economy of scale, that provides us the right price level with the right specification and the styling of the car.
Are you not concerned about the Chinese competition? The Chinese manufacturers have been trying to make inroads into the European market. You see adverts for these cars everywhere. There are completely new brands appearing, and they can really leverage the industrial strength that China is providing. If they want to conquer this market, they will offer pricing incentives. Do you think that it is possible to compete against this tidal wave of new players on the European scene?
I'm quite sure that the competitiveness based on the subsidies and based on this type of price reduction will be managed by the European Union. We are actually talking a lot in Brussels with the European Commission to understand what are the trends to protect the local market. So one of the key elements, especially contained in the Industrial Acceleration Act, is to actually motivate the investors and the car manufacturers to produce the cars in Europe to equalize the competitiveness of the local producers of the cars. So from that perspective, I think long term, our strategy is correct.
And have you been thinking about, coming back to the question of identity? Because once again, it's going to be a Polish brand. The most recent Polish brands had originated back in the communist era, and they are long gone from the market. They might be recognizable to people here in Poland, the element of nostalgia and all that, not to anyone outside. So will you be trying to, leverage an element of, Polish identity so that the brand would be instantly recognizable? There is a connection. People are thinking of Italian brands. They think about certain qualities. They associate with the country itself. Same goes for Germany, France, etc. So do you have a plan to actually use this as a part of a marketing strategy?
Our marketing strategy is something that we will discuss in details later. I think at this stage we are focused on securing a wise and stable project and investment. This is why we secured the right funding. We secured and structured the whole deal in a way that allows us to scale up to compete on the market. But the details about the products, the details about the marketing, this is the next phase. For this, at this stage, we are actually securing the correct business model for this scale of investment.
And anything to reveal about design? Design is something that can make people really passionate about a product. It can actually elevate a product to a cult status sometimes, even if it is not a vehicle that is not, in the luxury market or anything, not a sports car or anything like that. Are you thinking perhaps about something distinctive, more daring, to differentiate it again, from the massive competition, especially in those segments?
Anybody who has seen Isera in the past, they know that we actually aim for a really good top design for our cars. For next stage, they will be different, but the quality of the design, the attractiveness will be no less than what we revealed so far.
So can you tell us more about the technology side? Is it all going to be only electric cars, or are there any plans to go beyond this? How is it going to work in this regard?
You know, the whole strategy for the electromobility Poland from the technology perspective is actually to use at the first stage the very advanced technology primarily of the battery electric vehicles, but we are also open for the hybrid vehicles because to be able to react on what are the demands on the market. So both technologies are possible. But we are not only looking at the technology of the cars, we are also looking at the software ecosystem of the cars, the IT infrastructure, the connectivity, updates of the cars. This is a very important aspect of the user experience that we are securing in this project.
Is there an aspect of transferring technology, like, what is going to be applied in the manufacturing process later on is going to trickle down into the Polish industry as well? Capabilities that did not exist before might actually be used on our market domestically.
Actually, this project is about the technology development. This project is about the cooperation to bring the next generation technology on Polish market. This is why our collaboration with our partner is based on 3 pillars. One is the licensing of the current existing technology. The other one is cooperation in Poland between the engineering teams to develop new skills for the car development and also to develop the separate, owned only by EMP, innovation center for the software development to secure the ecosystem of the cars, to integrate it with the energy systems, to integrate it with the connectivity systems.
How do you see making an impact on the Polish market in general? Would you say, for example, that it will benefit the economy in a greater sense? You've already mentioned subcontractors, local companies, suppliers of components and all that. So it's the entire ecosystem that is growing around a major company like that.
Even if you look at the number of people that will be employed directly by this investment, we are talking about 5,000 to 7,000 people only within the joint venture and the electromobility investment. But then you have about 20,000 to 30,000 people employed in the local supply chain that will be necessary to provide the components for this project. So this is a massive impact, not only from the employment perspective, but we are also providing the works for the highly educated people, highly paid jobs for the engineering centers, not only for EMP, but also for the suppliers that will bring it closer to our headquarters.
What is the overall time frame right now, provided that the financing is secured and essentially the project gets the go-ahead? When can we expect the first cars to hit the road and the showrooms?
So our funding process is now full speed, but should be finalized latest mid next year. And from that perspective, in the second half of the next year, we are starting the whole investments, whole construction of the factory, and so on. So that means that second half of 2028, the cars will leave the factory.
Łukasz Maliczenko was our guest today here on TVP World. Thank you very much for joining us and for sharing everything about this project. And I'm Łukasz Maliczenko. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us for more latest news, updates, and commentary.